Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how to create a piano score with the score editor of Logic Pro. Let's go! We start by creating a new project. Choose Software Instrument and from the Instrument menu, choose Studio Instrument, Studio Piano Stereo. In the channel strip, open the Track tab. Scroll down to Staff Style and, in the menu that appears, choose Piano 1+2/3+4. Control-click in the first measure and drag the region until you have 21 bars. Now open the score editor window. We are going to set the key on the piece to D major. Click the List Editor button. Choose Key Signature. Next to Key, click C major and choose D major. When you need to write scores whose key signature changes during the piece, this is where you will define them. First, you will need to position yourself at the bar where the change must take place. Then, click Time and choose Key. Finally, click Plus. All that remains is to choose the new key signature in the menu next to the word Key. To change the time signature, the process is the same, but this time choose Time. Then set the numerator and denominator. Close this window. Open the Score Editor window. Each staff contains 2 rests. This is normal because we have chosen a polyphonic staff style. In this case, it could be more accurate to call it a system with 2 voices per staff, which is enough for this exercise. Now open the staff style window. The different polyphonic lines are defined according to their MIDI channel. The first voice will be played on MIDI channel 1, the second on MIDI channel 2, and so on. As you can see, the essentials are already set. There are 3 main ways to write music in the score editor. The first one, the most basic, is to drag and drop rhythmic values at the pitch of the notes. You can do the same by using the pencil tool, which comes up when you hit the Command key. If you are a rather good keyboard player, you can record your music live using the count-in function and the metronome click. If you wish, you can slow down the tempo to make it easier. If, like me, you are a rather bad keyboard player, you can consider to use the step input method, which is my preferred. But first, you need to do some settings. Begin by opening the step input keyboard from the window pop-up menu. Then, hit the MIDI in button. The rhythmic values are set by a keyboard shortcut. You can download the chart by clicking the link in the description. You can also change the presets by going here to change the key commands. Now, choose your preferred method and write down the first 2 measures, ending with the half note E. At the second bar, we can see the music splitting into 2 voices in the right hand. If you have a MIDI keyboard which lets you choose the MIDI channel directly in its settings, select MIDI channel 2, position yourself at the 3rd beat and play the 2 quarter notes thirds. Otherwise, play the notes at their exact position. Then select them and in the inspector, choose MIDI channel 2. I find it easier to write the notes belonging to the other MIDI channels first and finish with those of the first channel. If you find managing all these MIDI channels complicated, here is a trick. Start by copying all the notes from MIDI channel 4. I know it doesn't look like anything, but be patient. In the next bar, write those of MIDI channel 1. Do the same for the notes of MIDI channel 2 and 3. Here is, in the wrapped view, the result to which you should arrive. Now, select the notes belonging to a MIDI channel and assign them to it. Then, position the playhead at the beginning of the bar where all these notes will come together. Finally, use the keyboard shortcut that is not in any drop-down menu of the score window, Option D. You can find it in the Edit menu of the main and the piano roll windows at Move to Playhead. Do the same for all layers. For the moment, we will let it like that. When we reach bar 7, we run into a problem that also appears at bar 9. The composer is using a particular notation technique called cross-staff notes. Let's see how to do it in Logic Pro. It's extremely simple. Select the D note that is supposed to be on the bass clef staff. Open the shortcut menu by right-clicking on it and, under Voice Staff Assignment, choose Staff below Voice. Magic, isn't it? Now, finish to copy the notes of the score up to bar 21, without worrying about all the elements I have not discussed yet. See you in a moment. You can easily agree with me that currently this piano music is a mess. To correct this, we will use one of the most powerful tools in the score editor, the Staff Style tool. To illustrate how it works, let's start by cutting bar 15 so that it becomes an isolate region. This can be done in the score window, but I find it easier in the main window. From the tool menu, choose the scissor tool. Place it exactly at the beginning of the bar and cut. Do the same before bar 16. To return to the pointer tool, press the T key twice. Now let's go back to the score editor window. You will probably notice that part of the music has disappeared. Don't panic. By default, the score editor displays only the selected region. To see the whole piece again, simply move back up through the display levels here. Let's open the Staff Style window. If it's not already selected, select the current style Piano 1+2/3+4. From the new menu, choose Duplicate Style. Select the copy and rename it clearly. For example, Piano 1+2/3+4 plus rests plus stems. Now choose Show in the rest column of voice 3. In the stem column, choose Up for voice 1, Down for voice 2, Up for voice 3, and Down for voice 4. Close this window to return to the score. Go to bar 15. Select it. From the pop-up menu of the Region Inspector, choose the one you have just created. As you can see, everything is fine now. In order to add all the other elements of the score, we are going to display directly in page view by clicking here. Unfortunately, the score editor does not include a library of common expressions such as crescendo, decrescendo, accelerando, ritenuto, pizzicato, or arco, nor common text indications such as tempo markings, playing techniques, and so on. Fortunately, it is very easy to work around this and complete the job very satisfactorily. First, we are going to create what are called text styles, suited to each type of indication. All this is done in the Text Styles window, which is open from the Layout drop-down menu. Click the plus button to create a new text style and name it. Then click the double A button and adjust the style and size of the text. Do this for all the text elements you need. We will start by adding the title to the work. For this, you have to adjust the layout to make room for it. From the Layout menu, open Global Format. The window that opens allows you to adjust most aspects of the partition. As we have created a piano score, the settings will be made in the Part column. Opposite header space, increase the distance between the range from the top of the page until it is enough to insert the title as well as credits and other details. Now, from the Part box, click on the Text tool. Click and hold the click, then pull it until you see a dotted line that connects the element you are manipulating above the page. Thus, you create a text element that will be the title of the score, appearing only in the middle of the upper part of the first page. Now, just type the title of the piece. When you're done, tap Enter. Then, select the text. From the Event Inspector, unroll the Styles menu and choose Title, the text style that you have just created. Finish by correcting the justification, as well as the vertical and horizontal alignment. Do the same for the composer's name and so on. Now is the time to add all the text elements to the score. The procedure is completely the same, except that here it will be necessary to anchor the text to a note. Instead of pulling and placing the word text on it, you can press the Command key and click on it using the pencil. To connect groups of notes, in other words, to indicate a legato effect, click the icon showing a crescendo topped with a slur in the Part box. The first tool selected by default is the automatic slur. It works by attaching itself to the outer notes of the slur. As always, you can drag and drop the slur on the first note and then fix it by spreading it to the last note. Then right-click on a handle and from the pop-up menu, choose the slur direction. If you have many slurs to write, here are some tips to save time. The first tip is simply to press and hold the Command key. The pointer changes into a pencil. Click and hold on the first note to be slurred, then, while still holding down the Command key, drag the pencil to the last note and release everything. As before, if you need to change the slur direction, right-click on a handle and make your choice from the pop-up menu. Another equally effective method is to select the notes to be slurred with the pointer tool. Hold down the Command key, the cursor turns into a pencil. Click any selected note, the result is identical. If you have to add slurs to groups of notes, here is a trick. Select the groups one by two until the end of the passage to be treated. Then, hold down the Command key and using the pencil, click on a note. Finally, do the same for the other groups. If you are slurring notes in pairs, click the first note while still holding down the Command key. That's all. Finally, you can adjust the curve to your liking by manipulating the handles. The angle of beams as well as their length are calculated automatically. Let us imagine that you find a beam too long. To fix this, select the group of notes, not the beam, then go to Stems, Stem End. To shorten it, choose the right direction. To avoid opening this menu until the desired result is obtained, use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl Option Command plus arrow up or down. If you want to change the angle of the beam, select the first or last note of the group and do the same. For arpeggio indications, the hardest part is finding where they are hidden. The tools are grouped according to a certain logic which, however, is not obvious to me. To find it, select the gruppetto icon topped with a lower mordant. 3 arpeggio symbols are available. The most common one, the one with an upward arrow, and the one with a downward arrow. To use it, the principle is always the same. Select the one you want, drag and drop it on the note, or, while holding down the Command key, select the note to which the sign is related. Then adjust it. To stretch it, click its end and hold the click for a few seconds. You should see the cursor change, becoming white in the inside. Then drag downward. For greater precision, use the zoom. Now it's time to adjust the layout of the score. To do this, let's go to the Staff Style window. We begin by reducing the note size. Unless you are very short-sighted, a size of 5 or 6 is quite sufficient. Don't forget to do this for all the staves and for all the staff styles you have used. By adjusting the parameters of the space column, you can define the space between the staves of the system, but also between the systems themselves. Now we can go back to the score. If you want to create a staff break or a system break, select the Pilcrow symbol, drag and drop it on the bar where the break should occur. Of course, you can, as always, hold down the Command key and click in this measure. The non-printing symbol remains visible so that you can remove this command by repeating the same operation, this time selecting the crossed-out Pilcrow symbol. The next two symbols are used to create page breaks in the same way. This is very important for planning page turns more effectively. Since this is a piano score, there is absolutely no need to state it again. From the Score Settings menu, select Score. Choose Score Project Settings. Click on Numbers and Names. Uncheck the Instrument Names box. Now it's time to tell you about the Layout tool. With it, you can move bars, notes, or any element graphically. This will not affect playback in any way. For example, you have noticed that from the second bar, there is a collision between two notes. The score editor handles note stacking within the same voice perfectly well. On the other hand, it does not do so at all when they belong to different voices. Fortunately, with the Layout tool, we are going to grab and move the note in order to make the score perfectly readable. But with the Layout tool, you can also create staff or page breaks simply by grabbing a bar and dragging it downward or upward if you want to send it to the previous staff. It takes the shape of a hand, which closes when you grab a bar to move it. At this point, this piano score is ready to be printed. But before we leave, there are still 2 or 3 useful things to show you. The first one is the pedal markings. In this arrangement, there is none, so I will add it just to show you how to do it. There are 2 ways of approaching this: an automatic or almost automatic way, and a manual way that I would call traditional. Let's first look at the automatic method. The score editor directly converts any addition of controller 64, called sustain, into a pedal marking. To make it clear, here is an example. I'm going to open the piano roll window and go to bar 21. I open the automation area in the lower part of the window. This is where you can see all the elements that are not notes, such as velocity, volume, expression, dynamics, and so on. I choose Controller 64 Sustain Pedal. With the pencil, I add a 64 command at the beginning of the bar, and the pedal symbol immediately appears. Its position is managed from the Project Score settings window. You will notice that it displays 144. For the symbol to appear below the staff, this number should be increased. However, it is limited to 256, which means that it will probably have to be adjusted manually. But if you don't want it to appear unexpectedly, even if you use Controller 64, you should enter 0. Personally, I prefer the manual method. From the part box, I look for the pedal symbol. Then, as with any indication, I can drag and drop it or hold down the command key and place my symbol wherever I want. I adjust it precisely. Then, I add the release symbol. To indicate the duration of the pedal hold, I use the graphic tool. I add a straight line, which I then stretch to the point where the pedal is released. Adding dynamics couldn't be easier. Open the dynamic palette from the part box. As with almost all the elements found there, you simply grab the symbol you want to use and drop it at the desired place, or you hold down the command key, which turns the cursor into a pencil. Just check whether it's properly anchored to the note at that location. When you release it, you get the cursor back, which allows precise adjustment. For graphic dynamic symbols, simply return to a tool we already know, the graphic palette. There you will find the crescendo and decrescendo hairpins. Once they have been placed on the score, the control handles allows you to adjust the angle, length, and opening of the symbol. A word of advice. When you are manipulating graphic elements, whose length can be changed, it's best to do so in linear mode. That way, the score editor will itself handle the splitting of the graphic across any line or page breaks. This applies to extension lines for octave symbols, pedal hold duration, first and second ending boxes, and so on. I will end this video with articulations. Expand the part box by clicking the symbol here. There you will find everything you usually need: fermatas, caesuras, accents, staccatos, tenutos, breath marking, and so on. To use them, the principle is the same as before. Either grab the symbol and drop it onto the note, or hold down the command key and click the same note. If you want to add several identical articulations, it could not be easier. Select a series of notes with the pointer tool. Choose the articulation in the part box, hold down the command key, click any selected note. You can select non-continuous notes by holding down the Shift key. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you will find it useful. This tutorial is chaptered, which allows you to go directly to the part that interests you. If you like my work and want to support me, visit my channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, and why not click on this link to leave me a modest contribution. I hope to see you in another video, and as always, let be logic.